Hi, my name is Grant Smith, Vice President of Education at Code Ninjas, and as a former teacher and district admin, I'd like to tell all the teachers out there that you can do it. I know we have another rough semester ahead of us trying to teach virtually, but I want to give you some tips and also show you how you already have a lot of these skills that you'll need in order to teach virtually. Let's jump into some of my favorite things that we can do to make virtual teaching a success this semester. One thing you are already great at is planning. So let's take that skill to plan for emotional and technical needs. Emotionally, we need to make sure that we are happy and excited to see our kids virtually. And then also one thing we need to consider is the internet could go out at any moment. There could be other technical failures. So let's plan ahead so there's less stress and communicate those plans to our parents so that we all know what to do when the internet goes out. Teachers, you are also great at connecting with parents. Now, this is vital in virtual teaching. We need to connect with parents early and often. We need to connect with them to help them understand what our different expectations are for virtual learning. Obviously, things are going to be different. You need to help them understand that their kids need to be present. They need to be dressed, not in their pajamas. They shouldn't be snacking and eating. We should try and mimic the classroom environment as much as we can. We should also let the parents know as soon as we see any issues with their kids, if they're too distracted or if they have siblings running around that prevent them from engaging in the sessions that we have with them. We need to help and work with our parents so that our kids can be engaged with us. Teachers, another thing you're good at is minimizing distractions in the classroom, and this is where things get a little bit tough in a virtual setting. It's a little bit more difficult to minimize all the distractions that are seemingly out of our control in a virtual setting. Remember that kids, as much as they think they are multitaskers, they are not. We need to help them focus in on our lesson and our class. For the older kids who have phones, they'll try and sneak their phone next to their computer and scroll through social media while they're in class with you. We need to make sure that they know that this is not acceptable behavior. Other distractions could include siblings running through the background. We need to work with parents to help minimize those types of distractions. And I understand how difficult that is. I have two children of my own, and it is a struggle, but it's definitely something that can help keep the kids on track. There are other things we can do, like blurring backgrounds and using virtual backgrounds. Just like in our in-person classrooms, we need to do our best to minimize distractions around our students. Teachers, we also know the importance of personal relationships. Now, in a virtual setting, this can be done by maximizing face time. Now, this means not only minimizing distractions by making sure the kid's camera is on and we can see their eyes at all times, but also maximizing your face time. It may be tempting to throw slides up on the screen and screen share as much as possible so the kids can see the content, but I would encourage you to quickly switch back to your face to maximize that personalized attention and develop that relationship with your kids as much as possible. Teachers, another thing you're great at is managing student-independent work time. Now, we have synchronous learning and asynchronous learning, but what we can actually do is something called semisynchronous learning, which is another form of managing independent work time virtually. Instead of just talking at students or giving them work to do on their own while we're off camera, what you can actually do is keep the cameras on while they're working. This gives you the benefit of being able to engage with the kids as they are working. If they have questions or if you want to check in for a quick check for understanding, you are able to do so. This is a great way to try and get that in-person feel back to your virtual sessions. Teachers, you already make the best of less than ideal situations. You do this every year, not just at this time. In virtual teaching, we can adjust our teaching, but we can also enhance our teaching using the technology that we have available to us. For example, in the classroom, you may use thumbs up or thumbs down or fist to 5 underneath the chin to try and get quick checks for understanding. You can use those strategies virtually as well, but you can also enhance your instruction by asking kids to use the chat feature. For example, you could give the kids a question, give them think time, and then ask them to respond in the chat, not just to the question, but then also respond to each other, which is something that would have been more difficult to do if everyone was talking at once. We can use this situation and enhance our learning and our instruction. For many of you, it will feel like being a first-year teacher again. But don't be afraid to try new things and figure out what works for you and your students. Before you know it, you'll be a pro at teaching virtually. I hope you found these tips helpful. At Code Ninjas, we've also had to make adjustments in order to best teach our own kids virtually. As professional teachers, you've been a huge inspiration for all of us. I know that together we can continue to learn and grow so that we can overcome this challenge and thrive. Thank you for watching.